What's going on YouTube? It's Luke here with Lifestyle Off-Road, and today I'm back at it working on my Bronco. I'm trying to clean up the trailer wiring harness, but I'm also working on real license plate relocation. So that's a very rough draft. Yes, it's zip tied on there. The problem is I was trying to mount the light and the light wasn't working. So I wanted to kind of show you the rear bumper wiring harness and what all that goes into it, and kind of explain some things, because something I haven't been very public about, this Bronco got delivered with a scratch in the rear bumper. Now, I'm going to take it four-wheeling. Wasn't a huge deal to me, but the dealer wanted to make it right, so it's a lot of money for these things. Of course, I'm going to let him put a brand new bumper on my truck. Long story short, 3 bumpers later, they finally got it on there. But now I've been having all sorts of electrical connections. My dealer's an hour away. I don't like spending the time to go there. Now, if I went there, would they fix it? Absolutely. But I just don't, my time's more valuable than that. I don't like driving there, waiting for them to do it, taking a loaner, driving back. It eats up an entire day. So I'm going to show you a couple things about the wiring harness, and hopefully it'll help you out in the future. Okay, so I have the whole entire rear bumper off. Very, very, very easy to do. You have in the back these tow hooks, and there is 2 bolts holding those on, which go into the bumper. They actually attach, sorry, now I'm disoriented. They attach over here onto one of those brackets. I have all those brackets removed. You take those 2 out, and there's a bolt over here. So 6 bolts total, the bumper comes off. Now, this harness I have pulled all the way out of my bumper. It is your rear parking sensors, and right here I have the plug cut off, but this is the license plate light. Now, my license plate light wasn't working. Now, I obviously, I don't know how long it has been since it was working. I just wanted to show you quickly. This harness comes off here, and then you unplug it over there, and it completely detaches from the truck, which is nice. If something were to ever happen and this harness gets mangled, it would be pretty easy to replace. This side, though, is literally just the wiring for the license plate light. If you look, it is just 3 pins, 3 wires. This side, however, has several. You can see all the wires up there. This side is actually the wire for all the sensors. Now, there's only 2 wires that actually go to the plate light, as you can see here. So I'm wondering if one of these isn't just a power for everything or a ground for everything. I haven't really dug into it. But if your license plate light ever stops working, check that connection. Mine was not fully seated. Like I said, they have tried 3 times to put a new bumper on. So those connections have been plugged and unplugged and plugged in several times. I have had a problem one time where my rear parking sensors weren't working, and that connection over there just wasn't fully seated. So today, it was this connection that wasn't fully seated. Plug that in. I have a license plate light again. Now, yes, all this wiring is ugly. This is my next project while I have the bumper off. And I also need to go spray all this stuff out. But I just wanted to give you a quick update. And I am now going to clean up all this wiring, remount this control box, and make this just all look way nicer. So when I take my truck somewhere, you guys aren't picking it apart going, man, that guy does really crappy work. So I will keep you updated and stay tuned to see how this all turns out. Hey guys, so I'm here fixing the trailer wiring. And I had actually somebody comment, so thank you. about mounting this little module behind the taillight. Now there is a fair amount of room in this cavity down there. Now, without pulling the panel off, which this panel I probably could remove with a couple screws, but I don't really want to drill into the body, so I'm just going to use double-sided tape. This is the 3M stuff that is super durable, so I am going to pull the tape off and mount it back there. Okay, so I have that mounted up. I'm going to pull this wire, tie it up, zip tie it, tuck it in there, and then you can see how much slack I have. This is going to get cut and soldered. This I think I'm going to cut down. We'll see what I can do with that. But this seems to be much better. And that tape, if you've never used it before, is very strong. I'm going to tie the wires up so there shouldn't be any tension on it. This I'm going to drill in right there, and that should be all good. All right, update on the wiring. Now, I haven't done very good of doing step by step, but here is what I came up with. I've done this probably 5 different ways right now. You can see it here coming out of the frame. So what I did is the red and green wires coming out of the passenger taillight, threw them in some wire loom, ran them down. There is a square shaped hole up here on the frame, ran it in there. Now I'm coming down into the frame, run it through there. It's gonna run into this. There's a hole that goes through, and then you can see it in here. I was able to just literally push the wire loom down and chase it all the way through. I popped it out right here because I'm also running the harness for the license plate light extension that is up in the spare tire. Those are running together, so that's popping out right here. You can see the red and green wire going through. I'm actually going to, you can see my zip tie, I'm gonna pull the wires through this hole. I'm gonna tape them to this zip tie, and I'm gonna try and pull them up here. There's not a hole up here on the frame. There's kind of running out of options as to how to get it over there. So I'm gonna pop it out this hole and then tie it back into this. I did have to cut it, so I'm gonna solder it back together. Probably put a piece of wire loom around those, and then I should be all done. So just to sum it up, electrical box is there. Got the wires coming down. You can see the ground tapped in. The power wire is, oh, I have it looped up here. You can see it coming from up there. I have it looped up. The rest of the wires running through there. I don't think you can get any cleaner than that. So there is my update. Much happier with this turnout. I'll do one more quick video to show it all buttoned up. But yeah, that is the way I should have done it the first time. This rear bumper is super easy to take off too. You might be able to do it from behind with the bumper on, but popping it off took me 10 minutes. So it was worth doing it just to clean out all the mud that you guys saw in there. Okay, so final update. I am all done with the trailer wiring harness. Now, you can obviously see I decided to do it again. I actually cut this off and ran it through the frame again. There is this little oval hole up here that fit pretty perfectly. I ran the wire down here, was able to push it through, and was able to feed it out right center above the hitch. So all I need to do is get like a little plastic holder. I'm sure I can get something to fit right in there. And that's it. So I'm gonna get the rear bumper back on. I got the wire loom up on there. It's not big enough to tuck that in, unfortunately, but you shouldn't see that really once the bumper's up. Yeah, I think that's about as clean as you are going to be able to get trailer harness. So there you go. Much better, much happier with this than how I ended the first video. Okay, so final video on the trailer wiring harness. You pretty much can't see anything. So that is about perfect. You can see the harness coming down here, and that's about it. Just to showcase it, that wire right there is for the license plate light. Now, that is a very rough pre-production mount, but we do have it all wired up using your factory license plate lamp. So it's up there out of the way, nice and symmetrical. It's in the middle like the front is now, at least on my truck. So we're gonna have those out, and that's what's gonna be used for the Lifestyle Off-Road rear bumper, which is getting test fitted this week. So anyway, very happy with how the wiring came out. So there you go. Should have done it right the first time, but gives me a chance to go back and think through how to do things. So that's it. Thanks for watching.